Hey, good afternoon, folks. Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here. A tornado warning is in effect, and likely a tornado has developed and may be fully developed. Let's go to the radar here, and you can see the tornadic thunderstorm. Let me back out just so you can get a perspective. This is in southwest Michigan. This is in Cass and St. Joseph counties, right in the Three Rivers area. And it appears as though, bear with me just a second. All right, it appears as though the Three Rivers area has had a tornado in that area. We do have some pictures of quite a bit of damage. So here we go. So what you're looking at here is you're looking at the wind flow in this thunderstorm. And the red next to the green is where the tornado is. You can see it's in the Three Rivers area, heading out of the Three Rivers area, heading toward Leonidas. We've had that town before hit by a tornado in the last year or two. Union City heading toward you. You can see the track. And like I said, I do believe that this probably has a well-developed tornado. The National Weather Service has put what's called the damage threat considerable tag on it with a tornado that has been observed. Here's the latest statement here. Tornado warning for northeast St. Joseph County and northwestern Branch County until 4:30. A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado is located near Centerville. You don't hear that wording very often. A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado is located near Centerville or near Three Rivers, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. Reports of damage have been received in Three Rivers. Particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. Emergency management has confirmed the tornado, and I've personally seen some pictures of what looked like a really well-built home, maybe under construction, but it has sustained what I would consider major damage. It was still standing, but it was parted and pieced quite a bit. Life-threatening situation, so you need to go to your basement if you have one. The following locations are in the path of this possible tornado, or this actual tornado, I should say. Fully well-developed tornado. Mendon, Leonidas, Fishers Lake, and Sherwood. Let's go back to the radar. And again, now we have a report of 1 3/4 inch hail. So what you're looking at is as you look at this radar, you're looking for that bright light green next to the brighter red. That's how we tell where a tornado is on the radar. Let's stop this for you and zoom in. Let's see if we can see it in various ways. So here's again, the radar in its wind velocity mode, and it appears as though the tornado now is somewhere east of Three Rivers, around the Mendon area, around Centerville, Natawa, maybe, heading toward Leonidas, Colon, and Sherwood. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Just hang with me here. We've got a tornado on the ground, what the Weather Service is considering an extremely dangerous and well-developed tornado. We've seen some pictures from one of the emergency managers out of southwest Michigan showing a large home that looked like a very nice home that had a lot of damage to the roof and to the walls of it. So remember, contact your friends and family in that area, in parts of St. Joseph and Branch counties. If you have friends, family in there, tell them to get to the basement immediately. This thunderstorm is not something to mess around with, as it's showing well developed on radar. And let's take a closer look here. So likely the tornado is somewhere in here. We don't know exactly where. Here's Three Rivers. Here's Centerville. It's around Mendon right now, and this is the path of it. It's heading toward the northeast. So all of these cities here, you should be taking cover. Eventually, maybe toward Union City. One thing I want to show you in just a second here, let me read. Read some reports here. Okay, spotters now reporting it's a funnel as it approaches Mendon. I'm not so sure that isn't more developed and just not showing well on a picture. Let's see. They say numerous reports of significant damage on the southwest side of Three Rivers. Storm chasers and emergency management confirmed multiple tornado touchdowns prior to the damage. So again, the verbiage here is that there's a considerable threat. And at 4:03, the Weather Service is saying a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located near Centerville. This is in southwest Lower Michigan, near the Three Rivers area. Let's go to our regular look on the radar. What you normally see, and what I was detecting, was that a well-developed hook echo had developed, and you can see that also right there around Mendon, right where I have it highlighted. If we had a hook echo, I would call it right in here. Of course, we don't know the tornado is exactly right there. It can be anywhere around that. And then, of course, when you see this purple in a tornadic thunderstorm, when you see this purple here, that's usually where the large hail is. We've had reports of 1 3/4 inch hail. So Mendon and the northeast corner of St. Joseph County. Let me check that. Northeast corner of St. Joseph County, and Northwest Branch County. You should be in your basement, or you should be in the middle part of your home. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa covering what's a tornadic supercell thunderstorm. Saw the hook echo very quickly. Lightning just went crazy. It electrified. So this is one storm, and that's the ones we worry about. So the Weather Service is saying at 1.43, it confirmed large and dangerous tornado. Now we're getting heavy damage reported by the fire department in Three Rivers. What I want to do now is I want to take the model that we like in this and show you how this clump of thunderstorms is expected to move northeast. So give some of you in the next hour or two some warning as to this clump of thunderstorms if it stays strong and tornadic. They have a life cycle, but they can stay going quite long. Let me find the graphic that I want to show you. Just a moment here. So bear with me. Okay, here we go. So here is the radar forecast. Okay. This is what it says it should look like at 4 o'clock from the 3 o'clock run. And it's pretty accurate. Focus on that cell down in the southwest where the cell is now. In an hour, it brings it over toward Lansing, maybe another cell toward Jackson. In 2 hours, by 6 o'clock-ish, brings it toward Flint, another one toward Jackson, and by 7 o'clock toward Ann Arbor. Now, this doesn't mean that we'll necessarily have that tornado continuing, but it could. So we will keep an eye on that. Look at the run an hour before, and this showed the same idea a little bit later. So the model is running a little slow on when this stuff will hit. That rolls through. We quiet down for a bit, and then we turn very stormy tonight and tomorrow morning. This is 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So another chance of severe weather. These storms overnight have more of a chance of producing hail and some wind gusts versus tornadoes, while the current storm complex looks to be that it will head toward Lansing, Jackson in an hour, and toward Ann Arbor, Detroit, Flint in 2 hours or so. So we'll be watching that very closely. Let's go back to the radar and continue to keep you updated on that. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Very rarely see the wording in Michigan from the Weather Service of a considerable threat to a tornado and a large and confirmed tornado. That was around Three Rivers, which is in the southwest corner of Lower Michigan, moving toward the northeast. So that would just generically head it toward the Lansing area, toward the Jackson area in the next hour or so. We will continue to keep you updated on that. So here it is again. Let's go back to the velocity mode. Now remember, this means that a Doppler radar can look at the wind direction and speed in a thunderstorm, and the red means that the wind is blowing away from the radar, away from Grand Rapids. The green means wind is blowing toward the radar, and so that's where the rotation is. Now it's in the Mendon area still, maybe moving to the east into Leonidas. Sorry if I'm getting that wrong. It's a tongue twister for me today. So you know that in that northeast corner of St. Joseph County, you need to be in the middle part of your house, away from the windows, in the basement if you have one, and call your friends and family that live in that Leonidas, Sherwood, Athens, Union City area. We'll see if they continue that. It still appears to have the same amount of strength of rotation, I would say. So we got to assume it's still producing a tornado. Rather strange couplet when I go to another look at the velocity. It's showing maybe a kind of a double couplet. And then I want to take a look at the what we call the correlation coefficient, and what you see right there is possibly a debris cloud right in here. That's right where the tornado is indicated. So again, the track of this looks pretty accurate in a path in this method. So that area, if you're in that area towards Sherwood and Athens, you are going to want to be in your basement now as the storm approaches. And again, I want to remind you that, and we've heard this already, the purple ahead of the tornado, that is large hail. We've had an 1 3/4 inch diameter hail report. Let's see if we can. So here is our hail indicator. Large hail in that purple right along the St. Joseph County border. So definitely going to have all kinds of severe weather with this storm system. There it is, well developed now, kind of redefining the shape of the tornado warning. Let's see if we get any notable winds out of this. There's a 40, and on the other side there's a 30. I'm using the storm relative velocity, which means the radar backs out the speed of the storm. So now I'm just back to the regular velocity. Now on our Facebook group, they're saying that Three Rivers High School was hit. Let's see, bear with me a second here. We have our reporters from MLive, and they're starting to send me pictures. Okay, and quite a bit of damage in the Three Rivers area. So we still continue to see the tornado. We have what we call a dropout gate showing up clearly. So let me decipher this for you. So what you're looking at here is you are looking at the wind speeds from the Doppler radar. Green means wind toward the radar, toward Grand Rapids, red wind away from it. So when the green is next to the red, that's where the rotation is. Then we get what's called, very rare to see here in Michigan, called a dropout gate. That means that the radar doesn't know whether to put green or red. That's where the tornado is, and you can see that clearly right now on the radar. You see that little hole in the middle right at about Leonidas. You see that hole right here. Now we don't know that the tornado is exactly there because sometimes they can be tilted, and remember the radar is quite a ways away. So it's somewhere in this region, but more than likely right about here, and it is moving definitely in this direction. So if you live in this area here, out in here, you should be taking cover right now because you're going to have the tornado in your region immediately in the next couple of minutes. This is not one that you go out on your porch and look at, as it's been confirmed that is a large tornado. I'm going to continue to just highlight this and go back to the reports that we have, see what the Weather Service is saying, if we get any more reports. Let's see. So we've got, let's see here. Okay, so what the Weather Service is saying in the last 3 minutes, they've reduced the threat to a base tornado warning, taking the considerable damage tag off of it. I don't know about that. I wouldn't treat it that way, as no reports have been received after the Menden funnel cloud, still capable of producing large hail and could recycle again before leaving St. Joseph County, and that's what it appears to be doing, is recycling once again. Making a round robin here of, okay, now we have a tornado warning also for southern Calhoun County. A severe thunderstorm was located near Union City. That's the one we've been watching. Quarter-size hail, and it has a possible tornado. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. So they've issued a severe thunderstorm warning to the east, but we know that the thunderstorm has produced a tornado. A little bit on the confusing side there. Now, let's go back to the radar. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here. And let me get get you a bigger perspective of where we're at. So here's Battle Creek. It looks like it misses Battle Creek. Here's Coldwater. Looks like it misses Coldwater. And looks like it comes right through here. Homer, Eckford, Albion, Concord. Eventually heading toward Jackson on this path if it were to continue. You'll notice that the Weather Service has issued severe thunderstorm warnings in the yellow, but saying that a tornado is also possible. They feel that it is weakened some. I would say that if you're in the path of this, if you're in the Union City area, I would be heading to my basement or interior most part of your house as this storm rolls through. And if you've got time out in here, I'll tell you what, if you've got time out in this region, right out in here, you're going to want to shove the car in the garage real quickly if you can before you take cover, because this is likely a big hail producer. Going closer again. Okay, so there you should be able to get an idea of where we're at. We still have what appears to be a hook echo. As we zoom in, right in here, so here's your hail area, and then it wraps back around behind the thunderstorm, and then this is where the tornado would be in this region right here. So that's northeast of Leonidas and then Sherwood, heading toward Union City. Athens appears as though it's getting hit by large hail. Let's go back to the velocities and try to get some numbers from this. So there's a wind toward the radar at 62, 63 miles an hour. And then, of course, there's the dropout gate I talked about. And then behind it, 25 miles an hour. And sometimes the numbers on the winds don't sound as impressive as what the thunderstorm and tornado actually do in damage. So they're very clearly heading straight toward Union City, and it's around the Sherwood area right now. We'll see if they continue the tornado warning. I would imagine that they will actually very shortly here add a tornado warning for the Union City area, maybe toward Burlington. Appears to be cycling through, and maybe an uptick. I do like the relative storm velocity, storm relative velocity, I should say. That backs out the motion of the storm, and you see it a little more clearly exactly where the tornado could be, showing up very, very clearly at this point, and heading straight toward the Union City area, heading toward the Athens area, heading in through the Sherwood area. Maybe Sherwood is south of it. Athens is maybe north of it, but I would take cover in all that area. Okay, now here's our new tornado warning. You just saw it pop on for Union City. So let's get the copy for you there. Bear with me just a second. And I got to find it. So it hasn't popped up just yet, but we will get it very shortly here. You see the new red box. You also see it cycling through and starting to become a bigger rotation again, really moving fast. That is another symbol of the strength of it. Also, we're starting to see the brighter reds, means it's strengthening once again. And I want to see if I can get the copy off of this for you. Tornado warning, radar indicated. Let's see what they say. His National Weather Service in northern Indiana has issued a tornado warning for northeastern St. Joseph and northwestern branch county. Okay, we still are on the old copy. Okay, now still northeastern St. Joseph, northwestern Branch County at 4:26, 4 minutes ago. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Colon, 15 miles northwest of Coldwater, moving northeast at 35. And it says it'll be near Union City around 4:30. It's approaching Union City right now, so take cover, move to a basement or interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid the windows. If you're outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial building and protect yourself from flying debris. So they are calling it a radar indicated tornado at the moment, saying that it does not have confirmation, although I am seeing 2 rotations. It could possibly be a double tornado. It's really hard to tell just from radar. I'd have to see it out in the sky, but there you can see 2 dropout gates, one right here, one right here. So could be a double rotation. There have been double tornadoes, and again, all of this is heading in about this direction. Union City area, you need to take cover. Athens is not in the tornado warning. Burlington right now is not in the tornado warning. Let's back out. Let's give you the normal look. This is the normal, what you would look at, how heavy the rain is and where the areas of large hail. Large hail coming through the Athens area right now, I would have to say. A lot of lightning. You see the almost continuous lightning moving along the path of this storm. You also see what appears as though maybe the hook echo has broken down, but that's not always a good indicator that things have weakened. When we look at the storm relative velocity, we still see the 2 dropout gates. Remember, that's where the radar cannot decide whether it should put a green color or a red color. And typically that's because it's doing both in that square, that 1.5 mile by 1.5 mile square, and that's typically where the tornado is. But sometimes it is tilted because of the radar angle, so it doesn't necessarily mean it's exactly there. And that's why I always say, take the whole area. Be safe. Get to your basement, especially the Union City area. It is definitely destined to head through Union City now and in the next couple of minutes. Whether it has a tornado or not, it's going to have strong, severe winds. It's going to have damaging large hail, and it could have that tornado as well. You can almost see now what appears to be, when we back it up a little bit, what appeared to be 2 circulations. So this will be interesting to see if we get any reports that it split into 2 tornadoes. Let me do some round robin looking here for you. Hang on with me, and I want to go to our Michigan Weather Facebook page and see what people are saying. Tiffany is saying that Three Rivers High School was hit. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa, just following along this thunderstorm cell that at one point has had what was called a well-developed dangerous tornado. Continue to watch it for you here. Now let's back out and give you an idea of what the whole state looks like. So there you have it. We have the one tornadic supercell thunderstorm moving in this direction. And if we zoom in a little bit closer, you can get an idea that it's tracking toward Jackson. Here's our track, and it gives you the times. So Jackson is saying about 5:12. And then in that trajectory, this complex would also come toward Ann Arbor probably about 45 minutes after that, probably about 6 o'clock or so, as a guesstimate. Bear with me a second. I'm going to see if I can get onto... All right, now we have a new tornado warning. I'm going to see if I can get onto the chat here so I can talk with you. Okay. Bear with me just a second. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Tornado warning. Union City. You should be taking cover immediately right now. Just a moment. I want to get to the chat room. Well, it's not going to let me. All right, let's go on. All right, so we have a new tornado warning. Let's get that one for you. All right, so we have, let's see. Southeastern Calhoun County in south central Michigan. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located over Union City. So they're pretty well convinced that it has stopped producing a tornado, but has the history and still the look that it could at any moment. This dangerous storm will be near Union City and Burlington, 4:40 now, Homer at 5 o'clock, and Albion at 5:10. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Tecumseh and Athens. Back to the radar here. Okay, so MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with a severe weather update. We are tracking a storm that has produced a tornado, and it appears as though Three Rivers back here has a lot of damage. I've seen some houses, and they look extremely damaged. They look 50% damaged or so. Now we're getting the tornado icon. Right there near Union City. Tornado vortex signature. See what it says. Okay. So the tornado warning has been added now. Here, southeastern Calhoun County. So Burlington, you are in it. Tecumseh, Clarendon, Homer, Eckford, Albion. And as we back out, eventually that would take it toward into Jackson County. It would take it toward Parma, Spring Arbor, and Concord. And there you can see just one lone thunderstorm, your classic supercell thunderstorm. So southeastern Calhoun County, you're under the tornado warning until 5:30 as it heads through the Union City area and Athens now and into the southeast third of Calhoun County. And we talked about this earlier today, that this first lead batch of thunderstorms would have the wind shear to produce rotation and produce a tornado. The wind shear is a wind shift with height. So right now there's a southeast wind ahead of this thunderstorm at the ground, and aloft it's a southwest wind, and that is a classic wind shear situation. So just bear with me here and hang with me, and we'll track this thing along. It's been cycling through. You can kind of see it in the storm relative velocity. As we run it through the motion, you see it brighter at times and lighter at times. Now it appears as though it's, at the moment, the rotation is lightening up. That does not mean the tornado is not there. And we have not had a continued confirmation of a tornado, but we have had a touchdown in the Three Rivers area. Let's see, the Indiana Weather Network says, this guy says, large tornado on the ground doing damage per multiple spotters near Union City as of 4:38. There is a very large debris ball just north of Union City. Let's go see if we can find the debris ball on the radar. So I'm going to stop this for you. And okay, yes, here's your debris ball. So this is kind of hard to explain. It's called the correlation coefficient. But all this blue right in here, that is debris in the air. That means it's a real tornado that could do damage and harm to you. So Burlington, Concha, take cover now. Union City, you know it. Hopefully you are in cover right now. Back to the storm relative velocity, back to the regular velocity. But the main thing right now is that the debris ball is showing. Can you see the blue? The blue is the debris ball, and they're formed west and north of Union City and is heading toward Burlington. And that matches up exactly with where the storm relative velocities are. This means that the radar is backing out the speed and the motion of the storm, so we're just seeing the inner rotations of a thunderstorm, and the color bank is not being tainted by the actual movement of the storm to the northeast as well. And there you see the tornado vortex signature, the little tornado symbol. That's where the radar is trying to guesstimate that the tornado is. I found that sometimes those are off. So here we are. Union City, you have had it. Burlington, you're about to get it. Concha, you are about to get it as well. And then eventually we go to Clarendon, Homer, and Eckford. The track of this has been very consistent in the same kind of direction to the northeast. And when we back out and look downstream, that takes it eventually into Jackson County, into Concord, Spring Arbor, Parma, and Jackson. And, on that track, it takes it into Washtenaw County, somewhere in here. But that's pretty pretty far out to forecast it to stay on the same path. Sometimes these things turn a little bit to the right. So, you know, Ann Arbor, Dexter, Chelsea, you could be in the path of this in about an hour. Let's get timings for you here. Our radar has been real good at that too. So what it's saying is I'll be in around 5:07. That's what, about 22 minutes from now. Eckford at about 4:55. Parma 5:22. Jackson-ish area 5:37. So we do have a tornado on the ground, it appears, along with considerable damage, at least in the Three Rivers area, and now we're kind of hearing about potentially in Union City, and that makes sense as well. Also large hail on the north side of the storm, so north of Burlington heading toward Eckford. If you have time, if you have a minute, put the good car in the garage. Albion, get the car in the garage right now, then get to the basement as we continue to track a well-developed, long-lasting, isolated tornadic supercell thunderstorm. The isolated nature, very important. It does not have to compete with anything. So there it is, just one lone large thunderstorm. Note the lightning strikes along the core, and they're vigorous. Somebody had mentioned that it almost seemed like continuous lightning, and that is actually true. That would be the case with a tornadic thunderstorm. They very often have just constant flashes. Does anybody have pictures now that you can share? MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torgrosa, just tracking things along. We do have a few pictures of damage near Three Rivers. We also have some video now of the tornado out in the Three Rivers area, south side of town. See if we have any reports here. No new reports, it looks like. Let's go to the Northern Indiana National Weather Service. They cover the very southern part. Video sent in showing a tornado hitting the Menards store and lifting at least a portion of the roof off on main building. Their storage unit nearby was also damaged by the tornado. Debris seen flying around the circulation on the video taken near the US 131 M60 merger, 2 miles southwest of Three Rivers in St. Joseph. So the Menards is supposedly damaged. 4:48, storm chaser video confirmed tornado near Union City. Just messaging the newsroom to make sure that they got that note on the damage to Menards. Here we are, real easy to track this along. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torgrosa. We're covering a tornado, a confirmed tornado, has done considerable damage in Three Rivers, now moving toward the northeast. So as we look at the radar again, it's an isolated storm and very easy to track with me, so you have an idea what you have to do to stay safe. Albion, it's coming right toward you. Homer, it's coming right towards you. Then eventually it will be into Jackson County. You know, on this trajectory, it heads toward the Jackson area, toward the northwest Jackson area. I would not, you know, be that fine-tuned on it if you're in southeast Jackson, saying, oh, I don't have to worry about it. Just let's watch this, because sometimes they take a bend to the right is one of the classic movements of these kind of storms. Very easy to see where the severe storm is. The purple you see, that can be large hail. The biggest hail report we've had so far, 1 3/4 inches. That's very large hail, very damaging. And then, of course, we've had reports of tornado damage in Three Rivers. Now we're hearing about Menards near Three Rivers has been damaged. We're hearing about the high school in Three Rivers has been damaged. And I saw recently some pictures of some homes that sustained, I would say, major damage, maybe is the word to use. Okay. So we have news crews heading toward those areas, so you're going to want to stick with MLive through the evening and tomorrow morning to see what the damage looks like. But for now, let's just take cover and track it along. So this is, again, the velocity of the Doppler radar, the wind velocity. So we're using a Grand Rapids radar up here off the screen. So the green means wind is blowing toward the radar. The red means the wind is blowing away from the radar. And then this is where the rotation would be and the tornado could be located. So in Burlington right now, into Concha, heading toward Clarendon, Homer, Eckford, and Albion. Eventually into Jackson County if it stays together. I want to go back to the modeling. And see here, I want to go back to the modeling and show you what's expected to happen through the evening. That's what I was working on right before the tornado warning hit, about a clump of severe thunderstorms heading into southeast lower Michigan through the evening hours. And so let's do that. Let's go and take a look at the latest run. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here. Tornado on the ground, substantial damage in Three Rivers, and the Menards damage there. I'm going to grab the latest high-resolution run. Here's 5 o'clock. Now it has that thunderstorm. So near Jackson and Lansing. So even though it doesn't look big and impressive on the radar forecast, we know that that's how we track it. And we go to 6 o'clock and it starts heading, toward the Flint area and toward maybe Oakland County. We go to 7 o'clock to Ann Arbor, Oakland County. We go to 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock. And so this model indicates that after an isolated tornadic storm, there could be a larger patch of severe storms. And it's quite warm. And then, of course, we get the final round, it looks like overnight. And that's pretty solid area of thunderstorms. Going to be a noisy night. This is 5 o'clock in the morning. Traverse City, Houghton Lake, Cadillac, Big Rapids, Grand Rapids. You get an early wake-up call from Mother Nature with no snooze button. And then we go to 7 in the morning, and it's starting to shift into the southeast. And we go to 9 in the morning, and it is in the southeastern part of the state. And a lot of rain around, a lot of rain and thunderstorms. So this is going to turn out to be You know, a doozy of a rain, which we can certainly still use. Let's get the total precipitation off of this. And you see streaks of 1 to 2 inches of rain. You see northern Michigan getting a solid ½ inch to inch rain or more, something like that. I continue to check the reports, and so let's go back to the radar. Okay, MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here. Thanks for joining me. I apologize. I just cannot get the comments up on my phone at the moment, so I'm just trying to keep you updated. It's a pretty easy storm to track. It moves toward the northeast. It's had a tornado off and on, a considerable tornado at times for the last hour or so, and continues to move toward the northeast. So that's going to be our goal, is just to track it along so you know if it's heading toward your location. And let's see where it is at now. So right now, when we're looking at the velocities, it's somewhere in this area. To Concha, heading toward Clarendon, heading toward Eckford, heading toward Homer, heading toward Albion. The tracking timing has been pretty good. 5:01 at Eckford, 5:16 east of Albion, and 5:31 west of Jackson. Let's check out the normal velocity. And it shows the same region. The other thing that we notice with this is the intense lightning strikes in the core of the storm. That has been known for decades, that when a thunderstorm turns super electric in the core, it's another sign that it could be coming severe. In fact, Tom Skilling, WGN in Chicago, did some studies on that and almost kind of proved that that would be one layman's way of determining if a storm is becoming tornadic. There you see it very clear how it's moving toward the northeast, maybe northwest of Clarendon, but I would still take cover, heading right toward Eckford and Homer and Albion. See if we can still find a debris ball with this, and it does not. It's not as clear as what it was. If there is a debris ball in here, it's right in here. Not as clear as when we were back here. That was a clear debris ball around Union City, and I do believe they have confirmed a tornado in Union City. Go to the normal mode for you. The purple, that is large hail. Now, we haven't heard any reports lately. The largest report was 1.75 inches. Still could be severe hail with this heading toward Eckenrod. If you are in Jackson County and you are to the northeast of that purple area, I would definitely put your car in the garage if you can. See if any more reports. Nope. Let's see, we're getting some power outage reports now. All right, so hopefully you continue to take cover. Here's the movement on that storm. These things cycle through. When they're single individual thunderstorms, they can weaken and then regain strength, weaken again, gain strength. I won't try that again. And that appears what this one has done. It started producing a tornado around Three Rivers, maybe weakened after that to just a funnel cloud, then turned back into a tornado around Union City. I've been following this for a half hour before it hit Union City. Now moving toward the northeast, very clear. It's heading toward Parma. Heading toward, at the moment, I would call it the northwest side of Jackson, Tompkins, and Waterloo Village. You should also be ready for this within the next half hour, say. Let's give you some times. So there we go with the core of the storm. Albion, about 5:10 probably. Parma, about 5:21. Jackson continues to show about 5:30. And it continues to show it to the north of Jackson. If it continued on this track, it would stay north of Ann Arbor, north of Saline, north of Ypsilanti. So that part of Washtenaw County would be missed, but these things can gradually shift more toward the east. Doesn't appear as though it's doing so at the moment. So the tornado warning continues. Very odd severe thunderstorm warning slice, and that's just based on the large hail. Big hail shaft running through let's see, Eckford right now. Let me see if I can see what the radar algorithms are saying. Hail and rain. Okay, here we go. Giant hail. We don't see that often. So I've got the inspection tool on it. You get to the red, it's hail and rain. You get to the darker red, large hail. You get to around Eckenrod, and the radar algorithm says giant hail. I would guess that would be 2 inches in diameter or greater. That's why I say park that car in the garage. We're going to have a mess once this is done. Hopefully everybody is in their basement in this region, or if you don't have a basement, get in the middle part of your house. A bathroom is usually a pretty good place, an interior hallway. As the storm comes right to you, do not feel scared to, grab a blanket and wrap yourself in a blanket. Back to the relative velocity here. Starting to show lesser velocities. So not sure if there's a tornado still on the ground. The main nastiness out of the storm right now may be very large hail, damaging a lot of things. If there's any wind with the hail, I can see 2-inch hail just usually shreds vinyl siding. No more reports lately. So I'm just doing a round robin. See if I see any more reports. I think it's out in a rural area where we're not getting much back from spotters. What have you seen? Definitely was a strong tornado in the Union City area. Check our Michigan weather page. Nothing new on Michigan weather. So they're cutting off some of the tornado warning in the back. That's fairly obvious. And we continue to show the track. So remember, it's been very consistent moving toward the northeast. The track on the radar, the track algorithm has been very good. The timing has been good. There you see 511 Albion, 526 Parma, and north of Jackson at 541. Let's try to find the tornado again, or at least the tornadic area. Kind of diffuse now somewhere in here. Eckford, Clarendon, Homer. When we go back to the normal reflectivity look, large hail right in here between Eckford and Albion, heading toward Albion. And in fact, the inspection of it shows hail and rain, but we don't see the yellow anymore in the algorithm that was coming up as giant hail. Back out, give you an idea of what's going on. So we have our supercell thunderstorm producing the tornado moving to Jackson, and on that trajectory would take it north of Ann Arbor, would take it actually into Livingston County, Hamburg Township, Genoa Township, and Brighton. So at the moment, Ann Arbor, Saline, you're okay, but also note that the storms are quickly developing down south of Coldwater and Hillsdale, heading toward Hillsdale. Not severe yet, but that's what the models are showing, is that another couple of these isolated severe storms can pop up. And then, of course, another line, a solid line of thunderstorms heading into the Grand Rapids area. These are not severe. They're robust, but not severe. Still no new reports. So tornado warning remains in effect for southeastern Calhoun County. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Homer, 7 miles southwest of Albion. That was at 5:04. Storm has a history of producing tornadoes, also large hail as well. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torgrosa, just trying to keep you updated on a serious situation. Three Rivers is reporting quite a bit of extensive damage on a tornado that has touched down. It looks like it was strong at that time. We're hearing reports of Menards being damaged in Three Rivers, Three Rivers High School being damaged, and then I personally saw some pictures of homes. One was a very nice, substantial, large home. It almost looked like it was under construction, which would possibly make it a little more susceptible to damage because it's got open areas where wind can catch in through there. I don't know the whole situation, but it had substantial damage to it. And I think it's a good time to go back to our high resolution models. New severe thunderstorm warning. For Jackson County. So it appears as though they're going to be dropping the tornado warning due to lack of reports here in the last couple of minutes, and they're going to just go with a severe thunderstorm warning. But remember, large hail possible. Quarter-size hail, that can damage your car, put a lot of dents, cause a lot of problems, and a lot of discussions with your insurance company. So heed my advice, please. Put the car in the garage if you can do so. High resolution rapid refresh model shows that storm right there heading north of Jackson into Oakland County. So start clearing the stuff out of the garage in Oakland County. And this is 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock. So the storms that are on the west coast right now heading to Grand Rapids are expected to move across. This is 8 o'clock right there, 9, 10. So heading into the Thumb, into the Saginaw Valley, into the Flint area. And then let's see what we have on store. We have a noisy night. In store with the final round of thunderstorms. That's 4 a.m. right there, 4:30. It's Traverse City, Manistee, Big Rapids, South Haven. You get woken up in the middle of the night with thunderstorms probably, wind, heavy rain, maybe hail. The hail tends to die down at night. And then by Saturday morning, it's into the southeast, south central part of the state, Ann Arbor, Saline, Jackson, Lansing, all getting very wet with thunderstorms on Saturday morning after sunrise and before noon. Guess I better show that to you. Let's go back. Okay, so here's your supercell thunderstorm right there into Oakland County and the Flint area at 6:30. Moving to the north side of Detroit. Then the next round comes through Saginaw to Lansing. Ann Arbor right now, you're looking okay. And then here's the nighttime thunderstorms. Like I said, that's 4:30 this morning, tomorrow morning. Traverse City, Cadillac, Ludington, Muskegon, South Haven. And then the southeast part of the state, soaked with heavy rain by tomorrow. Let's grab the latest, see if we've got any more. We only got 6 hours here, so this is the latest high res. There's your storm coming through Oakland County, 6 to 7 o'clock. More storms, larger storms. That's the stuff that's hitting southwest right now. Let's grab this. So you see the storms on the south end of Lake Michigan. And once this tornado warning expires, I'm going to take a rest here, continue to watch it. Probably will not have tornadoes probably for the rest of the night. It needs the heat of the day right now. But we'll keep an eye on it, certainly. And large hail is still certainly possible. So back to the radar, back to the tornado warning. And let's see if we can still see a rotation or if it's changed considerably. It is still there, but it has changed considerably. Probably weak enough now that we would say it's not producing a tornado. Note the lightning core has just stuck with the tornadic part of the thunderstorm. And you still see a very accurate track off of the radar because this storm has been very consistent in its motion. 523 there, Jackson, northwest of Jackson, 536, and into the very corner of Jackson County at about 606. So we have a new tornado warning for a new severe thunderstorm warning for Jackson County until 6:15. A severe thunderstorm was located near Albion, moving northeast at 40 miles an hour. You can look for quarter-size hail. Damage to vehicles is expected. Locations impacted include Jackson, Grass Lake, Vandercook Lake, Leoni, Sandstone, Horton, Airpo, Oak Point, Spring Arbor, Norvell, Parma, Napoleon, Concord, and Pleasant Lake. And also remain alert for a possible tornado. Nothing lately out of northern Indiana. Okay, now we're getting some images of the Menards in Three Rivers, and quite the sign, you know, the big Menards sign at the entrance, that's all mangled and destroyed. Looks like the parking lot has a lot of that roof material, a lot of the sheet metal or whatever it is from the roof scattered all about, laying around cars and trucks in the parking lot. So big mess there in the Menards at Three Rivers. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here. 514 spotter near Albion on I-94 looking south, says you can see rotation. Weather Service Grand Rapids saying, so while the rotation and storm is weakened, this remains a very dangerous storm. There means it remains a threat for quarter-size hail as well as damaging winds. Tornado warning for southeast Calhoun County is canceled. So at the moment, we do not have a tornado warning in effect anymore. It's been going for, about hour and a half or so now. Let's just get you updated. Let's go back to our normal look that we know on radar with the heavy rain and where that's at. So you can see the storm has become more of a circular blob rather than having a hook echo. And it's heading into Parma, northwest side of Jackson right now. And if we stop it, we have to remember that this thing has had large hail. Now, as it weakens and does not produce a tornado, typically the hail slows down as well, and it kind of appears as that's the case. Then we'll look at the velocity. You still see some rotation southwest of Parma. This thing can still produce a tornado at a moment's notice, but it does not appear to be producing one at the moment. And the storm relative velocity, you also see once we back out the speed of the storm, then you notice that the velocity couplet of green and red kind of goes away. So I'm going to leave you now, folks. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. You've been watching a severe weather update. We have had a tornado touchdown in Michigan, southwest Michigan, Three Rivers and Union City. Three Rivers reporting substantial damage to some homes, quite a bit of damage to at least the facade of the Menards southwest of Three Rivers. And reportedly the Three Rivers High School has some damage. We haven't seen any images of that yet. And then also in Union City, there is reportedly some damage. We don't know to what extent. MLive has news crews heading that way right now. So you're going to see the pictures here very shortly, I would imagine. And we'll continue to watch it through the night. The main thing I can emphasize is if you got an open stall in your garage, put your car in it across all of lower Michigan tonight because you could have a hailstorm. So be careful there. Keep updated on mlive.com/weather. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa.